Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here
Nice
with
video. Nice
another
video.
Options and Play video update. So first off, just want to say thanks to those of you that stuck around for yesterday's option session. Uh, we talked about a lot of things, so there wasn't one main theme of the night, but I mean, there were a lot of things we touched on. I mean, we talked about calendar spreads, we talked about earnings, we talked about this FANG, FAAMG, like dynamic playing out across the market. All sorts of like different trading topics. I always love like the opportunities for us to get together. And if you weren't able to make it, check out the video recording. And in the future, if you want to come check it out, you should, because I mean they're just like a great opportunity to like get everybody kind of like looking at the same thing on the same page, talking through what the market's doing and just option trading in general. So if you weren't able to make it, or if you'd like to make it in the future, please check it out. All right. Uh, so this wasn't actually one of the things we talked about last night. However, it was one of the things that I mentioned in last night's letter, and this is something. If you're on the VTF, you've heard me probably talk about it at length the last few days. It's like Pfizer, right? Boring old Pfizer. Stock is going, or up until today, the stock had really gone nowhere, while like Moderna has just kept going up, basically parabolic day after day after day, including today, right? So everybody's like, oh, boring old Pfizer, like, it's not going anywhere. Why would you focus on it? Well, what's interesting is that boring, most of the time, if the stock is boring like Pfizer is, a lot of that can get priced into options, right? Boring when it comes to options means that the pricing is probably really low. If the stock doesn't move much, then option pricing is likely to be pretty low, right? So when Pfizer, it's like you had like a pretty nice bull pattern, right? You had a lot of vaccine strength. You had a lot of people focused on the vaccine plays. I mean, Pfizer is a big player in that area. And it was in like a tight pattern. And because it really has not moved much historically, and it has not moved much over the last couple months, the option pricing was extremely low, extremely low. So you didn't need a parabolic run like Moderna to make money. All you needed was a move more than what the options were pricing in. In this case, the options were pricing in very little. So a dollar and a half point, a dollar and a half move was great for options because they weren't pricing it anywhere near that much. And now you have earnings coming up next week, and when you look at like a longer term chart, well, I say like look left. I mean, stock has really not done much in a few years, and it's coming up into the top of resistance. And maybe if earnings go well, maybe there's more to it too. And again, I mean, when a boring old stock really starts to move, the option pricing can be lagging, right? I mean, the implied volatility is low, the pricing is low, and because the stock hasn't done much over its course of its history. So when these types of names do start to move, there can be some opportunities there, right? So don't just write something off because it's like a boring stock that maybe hasn't done much in the past. I mean, if the setup looks good and it looks like it could be a potential mover in the future, well, maybe it's something to look at. All right. So as we get into earnings season, I mean, there'll be a lot more event slash catalyst plays. So I mean, expect a lot more ideas along those lines. But what's nice about earnings is that stocks move and they create new setups after earnings. So even if you don't want to take the risk into the prints, earnings moves, they set up risk after they set up trades after the print. So there's gonna be a lot of opportunity coming up. There's gonna be a lot of new trade ideas. So there's a lot to look forward to. All right. If you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Hope you have a wonderful night. Stay well, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.